Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Gregor and welcome to our new episode of Surfing Daily Trades, where I will look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will look at the euro dollar, Aussie dollar yen in connection with the 10-year US notes, crude oil and metals. Recently we have seen a nice bounce here on euro dollar after this pullback from January highs, which, as you know, has been expected based on two wave counts. But back then we didn't know if the pullback will be in 3 waves or maybe in 5 waves. Well, when looking at the 4-hour chart, it looks like that this is a 3-wave drop followed by a very nice and important bounce out of this downward channel. So it looks like that euro dollar could recover even more. For now, I'm also observing this head and shoulders pattern, but would love to see our daily close above 1.22 level today to make sure that we are on the right track here. In such case, I think that this bullish impulse could be in the cards for a wave 5, looking to reach these January levels once again. Also, keep in mind that today it's a Powell testimony, so he will try to be dovish probably. The expectations are definitely there, meaning that investors and traders were already positioned to be short the US dollar. That's why we have recently seen some nice of the moves higher here on the euro dollar. At the same time, what we were seeing recently is the 10-year US notes were moving down into very strong support. The yields obviously are higher, so they will try to bring yields back down, which would be very bearish for the US dollar. And if we take a look here on the 10-year US notes chart, you can actually see that the market is making a very complex corrective decline here from August highs. It can be counted in 7 swings with the final piece of the puzzle here of this corrective decline now moving into very nice support. So dollar yen here can see a little bit of more weakness, even if this is going to be a corrective decline here. Okay, I still think there can be more weakness before we get some kind of a bounce. So a bounce here will make dollar even weaker, meaning that euro dollar on the other hand could see much more upside. So if we take a look here on dollar yen, you can see that I'm observing a 5-wave rise here. Okay, and now we are reversing back to retest this channel. I'm expecting this channel to be taken out, and then ideally we will see a support somewhere around 104.40, where was also the former wave 4. So there is room for more weakness, maybe even much more aggressive sell-off could occur towards 103.30 if the 10-year US notes would really respond from current support levels after Powell testimony. And also, if we just revisit this daily chart, what is very important here is that we have seen a major breakout here out of this downward ending diagonal. So it makes the bullish case for the pair, and likely more upside could follow. But as I said, after deeper, more complex pullback. For now, I think that that's not enough for this correction to be completed right here. I think that we can expect something more complex before market makes another higher swing high and swing lows. Now let's take a look at we said Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is also moving very nicely since last update. We highlighted this trend line, this pullback towards this trend line, and more importantly, we had plenty of corrective evidences here on a smaller degree chart. Okay, because of the overlapping structures, I was looking this to be correction and expected more upside. So far, we are seeing a very nice bounce here into wave 5, which could see a little bit of more upside, maybe towards 0.8 level, but keep in mind that this recovery can be maybe even counted in 5 waves already with an extended wave 5 of 5 here. So just keep in mind that we are already at a new high, possibly running into late stages, so just be aware that there can be a slowdown towards the end of this week. But again, very important is the intermarket analysis. If we'll see the 10-year US notes bouncing, then I think that those commodity currencies, which are already very strong, could be even more stronger. So it will be very interesting to see what will happen today later at the end of the US session. Now let's take a look also on crude oil. Now crude oil has seen a very nice recovery for the last few months, and I think that we are here in the wave 3, which can be targeting this 2019 no, sorry, it was start of 2020 actually, this swing high up here around $65 per barrel. So I'm looking for a continuation towards these levels, but maybe this will occur after a new pullback, which can be in the cards very soon, since we are seeing this 5-wave rise, possibly completing this wave 3 soon, away from this January 21 swing low. So just be aware that there can be a new correction, and when this occurs, the first support would be at 58.60 and then 57.20, as well as this trendline support also matters to limit the weakness for a wave 4. So uptrend here still intact, still in play, but just be aware of correction. Now let's take a look also on metals. Now again, 10-year US notes, very important for gold as well. The gold came to the downside recently because of the 10-year US notes were trading lower, or I should say yields were rising. So it's very important just to remind ourselves where the higher degree trend is. And when we are looking here at the weekly chart, well, it's still a very healthy uptrend, but now just maybe a little bit more complex and longer pause than some would expect. But looking at the daily chart, it's clearly an ABC formation, and I'm not really sure if maybe wave C already completed the pattern here, or will this be some kind of an ending diagonal here with another retest of the lows coming and then a reversal. So it's a little bit tricky on the short-term basis, especially if we also consider what the silver is doing. Silver came sharply to the downside after this spike higher 3 weeks back. So metals are somehow having their own flows, and it may take some time before again investors will have some confidence here on at least in the short term here on gold, and especially on silver. Okay, so if silver is maybe going to see a little bit more weakness because I see price potential resistance here, then of course this could impact the gold as well. So be very careful with gold. Maybe just keep an eye also on this trend line resistance, and a daily close above 1860, I believe, would be the first trigger to look higher and confirm a bottom, potential bottom. Okay, so for now, just be aware that it can be a little bit too soon to call bullish levels from here. So if we make a very quick look at silver here, what I'm looking at and what I think it's important is that market here is reversed from the previous swing high very aggressively. It looks like an impulse here on the 4-hour chart, while the current rise, okay, is already having a corrective subdivisions, because the first leg here was made by 3 waves. So I think that this can be a wave A, wave B, now very sharp wave C, moving into this very important resistance level. Okay, you have the previous swing high here when looking back from the start of January, then you have a 61.8% here. So just be aware that there can be more weakness coming, maybe just another drop here that will make this whole correction from summer of 2020 even more tricky. But the important thing is that this, I believe, it's a correction, but it may take some time before it will resolve itself and send prices back to the upside. Lower the support, the better, and stronger the support and better buying opportunities, in my opinion. Okay, so watch out this silver, it may impact the gold as well. Okay, traders, have a very nice day. I hope that we'll see you again next week. Bye.